Hey, nice dog.
Yeah, this is Piper. You're a bred border collie. Watch this. Piper, fetch. Good boy, Piper. You're such a smart dog. So, what can your dog do?
Fergus, Bud Light. Bad dog.
Fresh, smooth, real Bud Light.
We decided to focus on a company that is driven by technology and applies to the culture of many college students, Budweiser Beer. We traveled to Budweiser factory in Jacksonville and spoke to Harvey Luther to find out how much technology plays a role in the production of their product.
So, what do you do here at Budweiser?
I'm the maintenance manager. I have a staff of techs and supervisors.
So, I understand at Budweiser you use an automated assembly line. How does that work?
In our application, we'll have a machine that will speed up and slow down based on how much of a population of bottles are coming into the machine from the conveyor. If there's lots of bottles, it'll go up to high speed. If the bottles reduce, the population reduces, it'll slow down. A PLC is monitoring using sensors out in the field to sense what the level of population is. Then it'll decide whether to speed up or slow down automatically.
From what I understand, a PLC is a programmable logic controller used to monitor assembly.
How'd you know that?
I did my research. But how important are the PLCs at Budweiser?
Anywhere in manufacturing, PLCs are probably the core of all automation.
Right.
It's the number one technology. Now, robots, you know, we have robots in our applications too, and our robots are controlled by PLCs as well.
Is there any human interaction with the assembly line and the PLCs?
There's an operator feeding material on the machine to keep it running, but the PLC does the rest of the automation by itself. In just about every single machine in our process, there's a PLC controlling it one way or another. And other PLCs are talking to other PLCs on a major network, so you can communicate from machine to machine to tell one machine what to do and what not to do, and to tell it I'm running and I'm okay and everything's lovely here, but I'm faulted over there. And then they can make decisions about whether they should proceed or wait or go in slow speed or go to high speed or whatever you need to do.
With all these machines around, how is the system being controlled?
Is the operator interface to allow an operator to have a graphical interface of the process so they can, at their fingertips, they have more information than they've ever had before. It's kind of like how the internet is to the average computer user. An operator interface, you can hit a button and see an overview of the entire line. And if you wanted to, they can literally stop a conveyor system at the other end of the line from a workstation from the front of the line. Or they could pull up information about a reaction plan. If they have a jam, they can push a button and it'll pull up a reaction plan that helps guide them through a troubleshooting process to isolate why that jam occurred and to fix it. They can access information. We have a QA department that also posts samples, and those samples are tested. The information is entered into a database. From the workstation, they can pull up the results of their shift to see what the quality of the product was coming out of the lab's testing right on screen without having to move an inch.
Sounds like you have a lot of technology here. Is there anything you don't like working with?
You'd have a magic black box doing a lot of things and you couldn't talk to it.
So, how's all the technology tied together? And how do you hold the people using it accountable?
Access other procedures off the internet. We have a intranet, which is a plant level internet that has all kinds of SOPs for different things they can do. And of course they pull up a separate screen right off their interface to enter their quality checks. So if they complete a quality check, if they find no defects, they'll enter their name into the system. They'll say enter no defects or found no defects. They'll describe what package type it was, all that information, and they can also control or plan ahead, because in our business, like most businesses, One minute you're making Bud Light, the next minute you're making Busch, then you're making Michelob, then you're making Bud, and all those orders and brand changes are logistic nightmares without that interface. The interface says, here's your current order, here's your next order, these are the materials that go with that order that you need to go get and stage for the next run, and they can literally, they have countdown information that tells them when that order's about to run out, so they can cut out the glass supply, they can cut out the material supply, and everything just kind of lines up perfectly. So there's no losses, or very minimal losses from brand to brand changes.
How do you feel about your company's competitive advantages?
Unless you're a specialty brewer in the brewing industry, the key is to make quality product, lots of it cheap. Good quality product at the lowest possible cost. You can't do that with automation. You can't buy automation without making some money because it's not cheap. But it pays for itself. It starts, I think, with a vision in leadership that understands that you can't pull it off without lots of well thought out automation. Someone has to have a vision, the people with the money that are going to do capital investment. Our company, I think, had a competitive advantage because our leadership recognized the value of quality automation. And a lot of industries, for example, will just put in whatever automation came from the lowest bidder, kind of like space shuttles. Well, you know, we're not in the space shuttle business. We're in a business that produces a quality product, and it's consistent within 12 breweries across the nation. So for us, the decision was more like not the lowest bidder, but the most reliable, consistent automation you can buy. In this case, Rockwell was our product line, and Rockwell is a standard in all 12 breweries. I can go to any of the 12 breweries, look in their PLC programs, and look at their automation. It looks, tastes, and smells the same as ours. And I think that gave us a competitive advantage. I've seen smaller beverage industries, they'll have 5 or 6 brands of automation, and it's overwhelming trying to keep up with all that, trying to master everybody's proprietary system, because every one of them are proprietary, including Rockwell.
How do you keep all your information safe and secure?
Oh, we actually have quite a few levels of security. One, we have, essentially with automation, if you allowed it, a person could work remotely from a PC, talk to a PLC in this factory, and make a change that could shut it down. So we have, of course, you know, very well protected firewall, and we actually have completely locked out the ability to access our PLC's automation from the outside. That's step one. We have actually software applications running in the background. First of all, you can't access a PLC without an access code, which is assigned to you, and it goes through a level approval process before you'll even get one. So only a very small, limited number of people have access through those codes, passwords. And each and every time you go into a PLC, you have to log in. And then if you want to view something, it's one level. If you want to change something, it asks for a further level of security. And then on top of that, there's other software running in the background that tracks your every move. And then it sends a report to moi every morning. It tells me what changes and who tapped into my systems and what they did, down to the exact run and bit.
Yes.